Dealing with customers who believe they are experts in electrical work, but whose work may not meet safety standards, requires a delicate balance of professionalism and firmness. Here are some strategies to navigate these situations effectively. Firstly, maintain a calm and polite demeanor. Even if the customer is being disruptive or argumentative, it is important to remain professional. Listen attentively to their explanation of the situation without interrupting or arguing. This demonstrates respect for their perspective, even if you disagree with their assessment. Secondly, acknowledge their efforts and knowledge, but gently remind them that electrical work requires licensed professionals. You can express that you appreciate their initiative in attempting the project themselves, but emphasize that even experienced do-it-yourselfers can make mistakes, especially when dealing with complex electrical systems. Explain that electrical codes and safety standards are constantly evolving, and it takes specialized training and experience to stay up to date. Thirdly, highlight the importance of electrical safety and the potential risks associated with faulty wiring. Explain that improper wiring can lead to electrical shocks, fires, and other hazards. Emphasize that you are not liable for any electrical work performed by non-professionals, as this could put your business and reputation at risk. Explain that the safety of their home and family is paramount, and that ensuring the electrical system is up to code is critical. Fourthly, if possible, suggest alternative solutions that do not involve directly mixing your work with theirs. For example, if the customer wants ground fault circuit interrupters, GFCIs installed, but their existing wiring is questionable, you could offer to install the GFCIs on new, separate circuits. This allows you to address their immediate need without taking responsibility for the existing wiring. Alternatively, you could offer to inspect the existing wiring and provide a detailed report of any deficiencies along with recommendations for repairs. This empowers the customer to make informed decisions about their electrical system. Fifthly, if you are uncomfortable mixing your work with the customers, politely decline the job. Explain that you are not responsible for electrical work performed by others and cannot guarantee the safety or reliability of the system if you are not able to ensure every part of it is installed correctly. It is better to lose a job than to compromise your professional standards and potentially put someone at risk. Clearly explain your reasons for declining the job, emphasizing safety and liability concerns. Sixthly, offer referral information to other reputable electricians who may be willing to work on the project. This shows that you are willing to help the customer find a solution, even if you cannot provide the services yourself. Referrals can also help maintain positive relationships within the electrical community. Seventhly, document your refusal to take on the job, including the date, time, customer's name, address, and a summary of the reasons for declining the work. This documentation can protect you in case of any future disputes or liability claims. Keep this record readily available in case there are any further questions from the homeowner. Maintain a positive attitude throughout the interaction, even if the customer is difficult. Avoid getting into arguments or confrontations, and focus on providing professional and courteous service. Maintaining a positive attitude, even in challenging situations, will help preserve your reputation and build trust with potential customers. Be assertive in your communication. Politely but firmly state your position and do not allow the customer to pressure you into doing something you are not comfortable with. It is important to stand your ground and protect your professional integrity. Educate the customer about electrical codes and safety requirements. Briefly explain the relevant codes and the importance of having qualified professionals perform electrical work. This can help the customer understand the reasons for your recommendations and appreciate the value of your expertise. Focus on the customer's needs by actively listening to their concerns and trying to find the solution that meets their safety and budgetary requirements. This demonstrates that you are genuinely interested in helping them, even if you cannot perform the work yourself. It may be beneficial to have a standard disclaimer or waiver form that you can have customers sign in situations where they have performed their own electrical work. This form should clearly state that you are not responsible for any issues arising from their work and that your work is limited to the specific tasks you are hired to perform. When encountering electrical work done by a homeowner, it's crucial to address the potential code violations that may exist. These violations can range from minor infractions to serious safety hazards. Begin by thoroughly inspecting the wiring, connections, and overall installation to identify any deviations from the National Electrical Code, or NEC. Some common violations include improper wire sizing, inadequate grounding, lack of GFCI protection in required areas, and incorrect use of junction boxes. For example, NEC Section 310.15b16 dictates the allowable ampacities of insulated conductors based on their size and insulation type. Using undersized wiring can lead to overheating, insulation damage, and even electrical fires. Similarly, NEC Section 250.45 emphasizes the importance of effective grounding to provide a low impedance path for fault current, minimizing the risk of electrical shock. Lack of GFCI protection in areas such as kitchens, bathrooms, and outdoor locations, as mandated by NEC Section 210.8, poses a significant electrocution hazard. Improperly installed or missing junction boxes, as addressed in NEC Section 314.17, can leave connections exposed and vulnerable to damage. In cases where the homeowner has made extensive alterations to the electrical system, a comprehensive inspection is necessary to ensure compliance with all applicable codes. This inspection should include checking the service panel for proper labeling, verifying the integrity of branch circuits, and testing the operation of safety devices such as arc fault circuit interrupters, or RSIs. When communicating code violations to the homeowner, it's essential to do so in a clear, non-condescending manner. Explain the specific code requirement that has been violated, the potential hazards associated with the violation, and the necessary corrective actions. For instance, if you discover that the homeowner has used standard receptacles in an area requiring GFCI protection, explain that NEC Section 210.8 mandates GFCI protection in these locations to prevent electrical shock. Explain that GFCI receptacles are designed to detect even small amounts of leakage current and quickly shut off power to the circuit, thereby preventing electrocution. Similarly, if you find undersized wiring, explain that NEC Section 310.15b16 requires conductors to be sized appropriately for the load they are intended to carry. Explain that using undersized wiring can cause the wires to overheat, potentially leading to insulation breakdown and electrical fires. Provide the homeowner with a detailed written report outlining all identified code violations and recommended corrective actions. This report should include specific references to the relevant NEC sections and a clear explanation of the associated hazards. Offer to provide a quote for performing the necessary repairs or upgrades to bring the electrical system into compliance with the code. Be sure to emphasize that these repairs are essential for ensuring the safety of their home and family. In some cases, the homeowner may be resistant to addressing the code violations, either due to cost concerns or a belief that their work is adequate. In these situations, it's crucial to remain firm in your recommendations and explain the potential consequences of ignoring the violations. Emphasize that you cannot be responsible for any damages or injuries resulting from their non-compliant electrical work. If the homeowner refuses to address the code violations, consider documenting their refusal in writing and advising them to consult with another qualified electrician. In extreme cases, you may need to notify the local building department of the unsafe electrical conditions. When encountering situations where the homeowner has run extension cords for permanent power, such as to a fish pond pump, it's important to educate them about the hazards associated with this practice and offer safer, code-compliant alternatives. Extension cords are designed for temporary use and are not intended to provide permanent power to appliances or equipment. Using extension cords in this manner can create a variety of safety hazards, including tripping hazards, fire hazards, and electrical shock hazards. Explain to the homeowner that extension cords are not designed to withstand the rigors of outdoor use and can be easily damaged by exposure to moisture, sunlight, and physical wear and tear. Damaged extension cords can create a risk of electrical shock or fire. Additionally, extension cords may not be properly grounded, which can increase the risk of electrical shock. Furthermore, running extension cords under a stone patio creates a concealed hazard that can be difficult to detect. If the extension cord is damaged, it could energize the surrounding stone, creating a dangerous electrical shock hazard. Explain that NEC Section 400.8 specifically prohibits the use of flexible cords and cables for permanent wiring. Instead of using extension cords, recommend that the homeowner install a properly wired, code-compliant outdoor receptacle for the fish pond pump. This receptacle should be GFCI protected, weatherproof, and installed in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Explain that a licensed electrician can install a new circuit from the service panel to the outdoor location, ensuring that the wiring is properly sized, grounded, and protected. This will provide a safe, reliable source of power for the fish pond pump. Alternatively, if the homeowner is not willing to install a new circuit, you could suggest using a listed and labeled outdoor power stake with built-in GFCI protection. These power stakes are designed for temporary outdoor use and provide a safer alternative to extension cords. However, it's important to emphasize that even power stakes should not be used for permanent wiring. Explain that they should only be used for temporary applications such as powering holiday lights or lawn equipment. When encountering situations where the homeowner has performed their own electrical work without obtaining the necessary permits or inspections, it's important to explain the importance of these requirements and offer to assist them in obtaining the necessary approvals. Explain that electrical permits and inspections are required to ensure that electrical work is performed safely and in accordance with applicable codes and regulations. Permits provide a mechanism for the local building department to review the proposed electrical work and ensure that it meets code requirements. Inspections provide a way for the building department to verify that the electrical work has been installed correctly and that it is safe to energize. Performing electrical work without permits or inspections can result in fines, penalties, and even the requirement to remove and replace the non-compliant work. Furthermore, it can create liability issues in the event of a fire or other electrical incident. Offer to assist the homeowner in obtaining the necessary permits and scheduling inspections for their electrical work. Explain that you can prepare the permit application, submit it to the building department, and coordinate the inspection process. You can also provide guidance on the code requirements that must be met in order to pass the inspection. If the homeowner is hesitant to obtain permits or inspections, explain the potential risks and liabilities associated with performing unpermitted electrical work. Emphasize that obtaining permits and inspections is a way to protect their investment and ensure the safety of their home and family. When addressing know-it-all customers, effective communication is important. Begin by actively listening to the customer's concerns and perspective, even if you disagree with their assessment. This shows that you respect their input and are willing to work with them to find a solution. Use clear, concise language and avoid technical jargon that the customer may not understand. Explain complex concepts in simple terms and use diagrams or illustrations to help them visualize the electrical system. Be patient and willing to answer their questions thoroughly. Remember that the customer may have misconceptions or misunderstandings about electrical concepts, so it's important to address these issues in a clear and respectful manner. Avoid being condescending or dismissive of their opinions. Even if you believe that the customer is wrong, it's important to treat them with respect and avoid making them feel foolish. Instead, try to gently guide them towards a better understanding of the electrical system. Be prepared to provide evidence to support your recommendations. If you are recommending a particular repair or upgrade, be able to explain the reasons for your recommendation and provide supporting documentation, such as code references or manufacturer specifications. Maintain a professional demeanor at all times. Even if the customer is being difficult or argumentative, it's important to remain calm and professional. Avoid getting into arguments or raising your voice. Instead, focus on providing clear, factual information and working towards a mutually agreeable solution. By following these strategies, you can effectively manage know-it-all customers while protecting your professional reputation and ensuring the safety of their electrical systems.